I'm going to make some matcha and white chocolate creams today, and it's literally a tiny little twist on a classic French recipe, a pastry cream. So to start off, you will need some egg yolks, 6 of them to be precise, sugar, cornstarch, milk, don't forget some milk. So I've got half a litre here. Now, if you were making a classic pastry cream with vanilla, you would add your vanilla pod with the vanilla grains at this point. But because I'm doing matcha tea, I'm going to make it a little bit different. So I'm just going to heat it up without the matcha tea. So vanilla or cinnamon or ginger or lemon zest, orange zest, you can flavour your pastry cream any way you like it. You choose your flavour, you can add it at this point to infuse in the milk, but I'm using matcha tea, so it's slightly different. Back to the bowl, I'm going to separate my eggs, so I will need a second bowl for my egg whites, and the egg whites you can save to make a meringue. You could even freeze them, they freeze very well. So you can use it for various different things. And one last one. Okay. So to my egg yolks, I'm going to add some sugar. This is just plain caster sugar. That goes all in. And you just want to whisk it. Until it's pale in colour. Right. That's well whisked. I'm going to add my cornstarch. So there are 2 ingredients in this recipe which makes the pastry cream set. The egg yolks and the cornstarch. Now, crème anglaise, which I've done before in another video, just has egg yolks. That's why it's a lot runnier. Pastry cream has cornstarch, which makes it really firm, means you can pipe it into various different things like eclairs or donuts, or can be used in lots and lots of different recipes. Cornstarch goes in, add that all in there. I'm also going to add 2 teaspoons of matcha, and matcha is a Japanese green tea which is ground into a powder. Apparently it has health benefits, antioxidants, I don't know, it just tastes good. It has this lovely kind of bitter note to it which works really well in the pastry cream. So that goes in. Okay. And then you just want to whisk everything together. It's important to whisk the egg yolks with the sugar first and not think you can just whisk everything together, because I've tried it mixing everything together in one go and that didn't work. So trust me on this. Okay, so everything's well combined. Let's check on the milk. Let's see if it's come to a boil. No, it hasn't. I'll just turn it up a little bit. So the milk has come to the boil, and then you just want to pour a little bit in to loosen up the mixture, and then continue adding the rest. In it goes. Scrape round the sides. So as you can see, this is like green soup. It's not thick at all. So what has to happen is you need to pour it back into the pot and bring it to a little bubble so the cornstarch and the egg yolks are activated, which means it will thicken up and become lovely, creamy and unctuous and delicious. So in it goes. And back on the hob. At this point, it's very important that you don't disappear and do something else, because if you just let the mixture sit, it will burn at the bottom and also it will become lumpy. So it's good to stay with it and just whisk. It's starting to thicken up, you can see that. Okay, and then when it releases a bubble, can you see those bubbles? And then you take it off the heat and you just continue to whisk for a minute or so. There you go, and that is your basic pastry cream. And this one's flavoured with a lovely Japanese matcha. So I'm going to cool mine down. But you could literally just eat it like that. It's quite nice as like a warm pudding. But usually you use it when it's cold. So it needs to go into a bowl. I'm just going to get rid of this whisk. And then just scrape it all out and pop it in the bowl. In that goes. Okay. Now, a little tip is to grab some plastic cling film. A little bit of cling film. And you want to avoid your pastry cream getting a skin. So the way to do that is to take a little bit of cling film and then pop it on top like so. So it sits directly onto the pastry cream, you can see. And that way the pastry cream won't form a skin, and that goes in the fridge. Pastry cream is cold, that's what you want. Cold white chocolate as well. Now to make your little creams, very easy. Grab a whisk. You might just need to give it a good whisk. You can see how creamy it's become. There are no lumps, because if you've whisked properly beforehand, you won't have any lumps. Okay, and now, so you grab some nice glasses. Now, I'm just going to flatten it out a little bit. If you had like a fruit compote at home, like a cherry fruit compote or maybe raspberry, you could pop a little bit at the bottom there and you start making a layered dessert. Almost, well, it is a bit like a trifle. But this is just pastry cream at its purest form. Really simple. White chocolate, it's nice and cold. That should help with just making it easier to shave. Down the chocolate. Then you just sprinkle a generous amount on top. You're probably wondering, why am I only doing 3? It's because I only have 3 of these glasses, but you definitely can make 4 out of this. Or if you have, you could do little mini versions, you'll probably get 6. So I'm only doing 3 because I literally only have 3 of these lovely vintage glasses. It's a problem with vintage. Okay, chocolate's on top, and that literally is your matcha and white chocolate creams. Simple as that. Don't forget to subscribe and like.